Good morning, Maine. I'm John Burgundy, and here's the news. The news is this. A couple weeks ago, I filmed a video for you guys that really got a lot of positive attention. On my latest international trip to Japan, I decided to pick up some lures from a myriad of different fishing stores and bring them back to the States. This video was pretty straightforward. I just kind of unboxed a few of the lures and showed you what I got. And it seemed like some of the most upvoted comments in that video were this. You guys wanted me to not only talk about the lures, but do what they're meant for doing, and that is catching fish. So with that being said, I've got the red truck hooked up to the white boat, and in this white boat is some tackle. Take a look at this. Here's just a few of the lures that we'll be fishing with today. Mind you, everything in this box that you are seeing was acquired from Japan, which is pretty crazy because we are very far from Japan right now, and Japan is, well, it's not necessarily known for its bass fishing, but there is some amazing bass fishing in Japan, and they make some pretty incredible lures. So we finally get a chance to fish with these lures once and for all. It seems like these baits have been sitting in my bag for over a month now. At least since I got back from Japan, I've just been so busy with family and work and, other obligations that I haven't really got a chance to film this video, but today's the day. And what's even more exciting about this is I'm going to go through and rate each lure as I'm fishing them based upon their action, how I think that they fish overall, at least in the northern woods of Maine, and then just giving you guys my overall opinion. My ratings today won't matter, but at least you have an idea as to what I feel about some of the lures that I purchased. Some I'll probably love, some I'll probably love not so much, but overall, every bait that I purchased I think has a shot at catching a fish today. So without further ado, let's hop in the truck and head that way. I gotta walk back and grab my camera. Hell yeah. We have made it to the lake. Unfortunately, this is a lake that I've not been to before, and I am not really sure where to drop my boat in. You see, if you ever get the pleasure of fishing up here in Maine, you will soon find out that a lot of the lakes up here don't have, what's the word, very good boat ramps. Therefore, it takes, honestly, a bit of Google mapping and research to find out where you can put in your boat. Oh, I see a promising sign. It says public boat access. This might be it. We might have found it. There's the boat access sign. And down here is the ramp, just for perspective. There's my truck, and here is the road we gotta go down in order to go fishing today. I've seen worse. This is definitely not the craziest boat ramp that I've ever launched at, but a bit of an incline there, or I guess decline, I should say. This is cool, fishing new waters with some new lures. I think we finally managed to find a place to put the boat. Wow, this ramp just got really bad. Oh my gosh, I actually am not sure if I'm gonna be able to do this. This boat ramp really sucks. Look at this boat ramp. Holy smokes, I'm gonna try, I guess. Dude, that's so bad. Look how big these rocks are. I'm gonna have to go real slow. There's no way around it. I might actually destroy my trailer. You can actually see where people have nicked their trailers on this before. It's almost like they purposely made it difficult. Holy moly, all right. Well, only one way to find out. I gotta be honest, I don't think this is gonna work. Look at these rocks, dude. I mean, probably won't be able to tell too well from this camera angle, but I've got that rock right there, which is for sure going to hit my trailer, at least on the way up or down. And then I've got to snake my wheel around this rock. It's funny, you can literally see all the marks of when people have launched here and hit their trailer. I got a nice boat, and while I do beat the ever-living crap out of my stuff, I definitely don't want to get stuck out here because I'm pretty far from camp. So I don't see it happening. There's just no way. Unless I do smoke my trailer, which I don't want to do. I don't want to do that. Well, we've made it to a new pond. This one has a little bit better ramp, but not by much. I'm actually having to back down my, and clearly I don't know what I'm doing. It's still pretty rough. I actually had to start backing up all the way down from the main highway because there's no turnaround. And I'm just taking it one rotation of the wheel at a time, trying to get down to the spot. I will say it looks good though. This lake looks awesome. I've never really fished here before either, so I'm excited to try yet a new body of water. I'm very bummed we couldn't get into that first spot. However, maybe things weren't meant to be. Maybe this is where we were meant to fish all along. But geez, dude, I don't think I've ever backed down a ramp this much. This is crazy. Oh, that's the edge right there. I gotta be careful. Oh, I gotta be honest with you guys, this ramp is not much better. Take a look at this. This is the ramp. This is her. Definitely don't think we can launch there because of all those rocks. But this left side might be a little bit deeper. Also too, this is how far I had to back down. Just for perspective, no turnaround down here whatsoever. My truck is right here, and we backed her down all the way from the start of that main road. Listen, if I ever run for Congress in Maine, one of my first priorities to nail down is to have at least a half-ass decent ramp at every single lake, pond, and stream. Because this is just, I mean, for those of you who've been following the channel for quite some time, you know that just about every lake I fish up here has got a ramp that looks like this, or even worse. Anyway, let's stop where I'm open, get the boat unhooked, and get to fishing. Wow, this is a pretty rough ramp. This ramp sucks. Like, sucks really bad. I just want to make sure my truck tires don't go in the mud. That's my big concern. What the hell? Back passenger wheel is completely submerged in mud, but the boat is floating. All right, let's see if I can get my truck out of here now. We made it. I don't know how, but we made it. Let's go fishing. So, here's the real question. Which lure do we throw first? And the simple answer to that question is none. We throw at least 5 all at once at first. I'm so eager to fish that I'm just gonna start tying some lures on. But before I do that, I wanna show you each one that I'm gonna tie on each rod, and then we'll get started actually making casts. First lure I think I'm gonna tie on is this really cool Nori's frog. It's a super soft Japanese topwater. This is called an NF60. Pretty wicked name for a frog. But this is gonna be the first one that I think I'm gonna tie on a braided stick. I got a braided 7'6" rod ready to go right here. It's got that braid on it. Then I think next what we're gonna do is we're gonna tie this Depths baby bull shooter on one of my heavier sticks, 7'6" heavy action rod, 20-pound test. Bull shooter, meet heavy rod, meet bull shooter. I'm sure there's bluegill in here, so that's gonna come into play. So we got a frog, a swim bait. I think after that, probably, I believe this is, it's called a Jijil, J-I-J-I-L. Pretty cool little lure. I think Jackal makes this lure. I'm not sure if it's a topwater or a subsurface, but we will find out. That's gonna go on the 7-foot medium heavy. We've got this OSP 130. Gonna throw that on my jerkbait setup. I think I barely touched base on the soft plastics, but one lure I wanna try to throw today is this giant 16-inch worm. This is gonna be fun. I'm gonna throw that probably on my jig setup right here. This is the one lure I really wanna catch a fish on. I mean, take a look at this thing. Have you ever seen a worm this big?
What do you mean by that?
That's gonna be fun. Gonna throw that around. I don't know, I got one more rod. I might throw around this, I believe this is a Raid chatter jig. This looks very similar to the bladed jigs we had back in the States, but I'm really curious to see if it works any differently. This is in a 1/2-ounce size. And I'm gonna throw the Raid chatterbug on a 7'2" Biggun green reaction rod. Let's get all these tied up and get to cranking. All right, first lure I'm gonna throw. I've got the Nori's bladed jig on here with a Nori's Fanta stick. Nori's on Nori's. This is a soft plastic that is also made by the same company that makes this bladed jig. We're on a nice little windy flat right here, so we're gonna see if maybe we can't get something started right off the bat. Haven't even turned on the big motor. Let's see if we can maybe find and dupe a couple in these shallow areas. Some decent grass out here, so they should be up in this. I think the goal for today is not only find ourselves a new favorite lure. Oh, there's one. That was quick. Oh, he spit it. That was really quick. I think the goal for today is not only to find ourselves a new favorite lure that is made in Japan, but I also want to see if we can catch a fish on just about everything that I purchased. It's going to be tough, but I believe this lake is known for holding some good bass, and I think we could probably run through quite a lot of the lures that I purchased. Like just then, that was my third or second cast and already came tight. I have no idea if that was a smallmouth or a largemouth, but it bit like hell. Didn't look that big though. Absolutely crushed the chatter jig. Got to find some places to throw topwater today too. I think this lake does have some grass, so all we got to do is find some pads or some emergent veg and get busy with the frog and the other topwaters. All right, I'm gonna switch to that little gill. See if that gets a bite. Bluegill should be spawning right now in Maine, so throwing this kind of makes sense. You don't have to work this bait very much. I've used the full-size bull shooter, which is basically the same bait but much bigger, and you really have to kind of twitch it in order to get it to glide, but all I'm doing right now is just these little quarter turns in order to get it to move side to side. It's such a small, oh wow, I thought that was a fish. Such a small bait that you don't really need to move it much in order to get that bait to wiggle and move around and entice the fish. What am I snagged on? A moose? Sunken moose down there? What the heck? What am I snagged on, buddy? I can't lose that lure. That was an expensive one. All right, we're good, we're back. We're back in action. Bit of a rock pile out there. This is not a bad spot to throw the mega worm. The mega dong worm. Look how ridiculous this thing is. I couldn't find a big enough hook, so I'm throwing this on like a 4/0 EWG. It's gonna have to get the job done. All right, nice hump right there. Come on. Come on, 16-inch worm, do your thing. Do your thing, 16-inch worm. There's gotta be some fish on this nice rocky hump out here. Water's in the low 70s. They should be off the bank pretty good right now. They're gonna be right up on the bank today or pretty far out in the middle. That'd be my guess. Looks like there might be a fish on the other side of that rock. There we go. There we go. First fish of the day. What do we have here? Got a 2-for-1, throwing double Japanese lures. Oh, a nice smallmouth on the old Raid chatter jig. First fish of the day, nice brown bass. I think there's both smallmouth and largemouth in here, so we'll probably get a chance to see both species today. But there you have it, first kill on the Japanese lure. That's awesome. Let's send old buddy back. Thank you for biting. Whew, felt good, got the skunk off the boat. Love to see that. Just fishing this windblown grass edge. I'm sitting at about 6 feet and casting at about 2 to 3. Should be some fish sitting right on the edge of this. In theory, at least there was one sitting on the edge of it. Just trying to keep my boat in between shallow and deep water before I figure out exactly where they're hanging out today. That fish bit in probably about 4 foot, I'd have to guess, coming off the edge there. There's not much grass down there, but there is a little bit, and it's just enough to hold some fish, I guess. It's a nice little bite, felt good. Felt good to stretch the line. I just need another one though. Once I get one bite, I'm hungry for the next. Ooh, there we go. That was a good bite. A little bit better one, maybe. Oh, about the same size. That was a hectic bite though, my gosh. What do we have here? Green bass. One brown bass, one green bass. This one choked. Look how he ate that. Whew. A decent little largemouth. 1 pounder, we'll take him. Send him right back. Keep fishing. 2 fish so far on the Japanese blade. That's sick. Should be another one over there. They usually run in packs this time of year. That one ate it on like the first crank of my handle. He must have just been waiting for food. He must have just been waiting for food. Come on. Ah, this is not good. I gotta pick up the pace here, figure out what I'm gonna do. There's a fish. Fish has just ate it. Fish just ate the big worm. He's got it. I'll let him really eat it. No, I lost him. Damn it. First bite on the 16-inch worm. I should have waited longer. Oh, he took it. No! He just barely had it. No! I really do need a bigger hook for this worm, but I'm pushing the envelope here. Damn, that was a decent bite too. No! I mean, look at the size of the hook I'm using. It's probably not the best idea, but I'm hoping they just choke it. No! That makes me sad. Felt like a good fish too. It was a decent bite. Let's try again. I will say this worm has got really good action in the water. It's just gonna be tough to hook a fish. Even if I did have like a giant 8/0 hook, I still wouldn't have too much confidence in them getting hooked too well. I think this worm is meant to actually be wacky wormed, or like weightless wacky wormed, but it looks pretty good on a Texas rig. So that's how I'm fishing it. And the action's insane. Like it looks incredible in the water. But the hard part is just getting one of these smaller Maine bass to fully grasp it, because it is such a giant worm. If I was down south in like Lake El Salto, it would be a different story. Oh wow, there's quite a few fish right there. It's also tough to cast too, at least on this lighter weight. Doesn't really get out there very far, unfortunately. That bite I had was really good though, I will say. Oh, is that another bite? I think I just got bit again. Felt like a bite. That, or it was just a little perch, maybe. Oh, there's tons of fish right here. What are all these guys? Oh, something just ate it. Something just ate it. See that? He's running with it. He's running with it. He's running with it. I'm gonna let him eat it. I'm gonna let him frickin' eat it. He's running with it. He's running with it. He's running with it. He's running with it. Someone's at my door. Someone's at my door, and this fish is running with it. I gotta like literally wait so long for the bite. This is crazy. This is crazy. Okay, I think long enough. Should I keep waiting? I don't know. I'm so nervous. Got him! Got him! No way! On a 16-inch worm. It feels like a good one too. Doesn't feel like a small fish. That was insane. That was insane. Oh, it's not bad. It's not a giant, but it's definitely a bass. Oh, no way! I let him freaking eat that worm. Let's go, dude. Let's freaking go. There was a whole school of them down there. Oh wow, he ate it good. I'll tell you what, he ate it freaking good. Finally got one on the 16-inch worm. I bet not too many people in Maine throw a 16-inch worm, but seems to have worked just now. Unbelievable. Let's get him right back in the water. Thank you for biting, Stinky. Phew! That was nuts. That was such a struggle to get a bite on that thing, but when it happened, it happened. That's awesome. Let's freaking go. This is the next worm I'm gonna throw. This is called a, what's it called? This is called a, I immediately forgot what it's called. This little bait is called a Do Live Crawler 4.5 inch. I imagine this would be better suited on a drop shot, but today I'm in the mood to lean on a couple with the heavy lines. So I've got this on a 3/0 EWG wide gap decoy hook. And the weight is that same weight I was throwing, that little bean weight. And I'm just casting it off this deep edge. It's really shallow right up in here, and there could be some bass as well on the shallow side. But I'm getting some good bites right on the edge. Could be fish that are just hanging in the depths, waiting to move up shallow once the sun goes down. But I'm just dragging this ever so slowly on the bottom. I've already gotten 2 bites, and I'm seeing a lot of activity on my graph. When that fish bit, there was like 5 others around checking out to see what was going on. Whew, that was cool. Let's see if we can get another. Probably should pick up the frog here in a little bit too. This looks very topwater-y. Topwater-y, new word, topwater-y. Really nice edge down there. Some good structure too, some trees, some rock. It's got a little bit of everything. A little bit of everything. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Drop the Do Live for a second and pick up the old Nori's NF60 frog. I actually got a couple frogs in Japan, so if they're eating the frogs today, I might try them all. I might taste test all the frogs. They should be eating the frogs over here. It's deep enough, for sure. Some of that stuff I was frogging earlier was just too, oh, instantly got eaten, first cast. Well, there you have it. I think they're eating the frog. What do we have here? A little largemouth? Oh, it's starting to pick up a little bit. Oh, he's in the boat. Oh gosh, and he's concussed. I'm sorry, buddy. Oh wow. Actually, his concussion might be the least of his worries. Holy moly, he's got a big goiter on him. Not on this side, but flip him over and buddy's got a goiter. Whew. We're gonna send him right back in the water. Ate the frog. That was cool. It's fun to get a little bottom bite mixed in with a topwater strike. Oof. Can't beat that. Can't beat that. It's good to see they're eating on top. Right now I'm seeing a lot of dragonflies moving around these reeds. So these bass probably think it's a little dragonfly, or they could think it's an actual frog because I'm hearing some frogs croak in the background. Regardless, it's good to see one come up for it. All I'm doing is I'm casting right on the edge of these reeds where it drops off into some deep water, and I'm making this frog walk back and forth. This frog's got a really good action. I used to use this frog a lot as a kid, but I haven't used it in probably, I don't know, close to 6 or 7 years. So it's good to revisit an old friend and catch some bass years later on the same frog I used as a whipper back in Illinois. Oh, there's one. Oh, there we go. Feels decent. It's not bad. Nice. Nice. New fish, new bait. That's awesome. That was on that OSP worm. Good stuff. Getting some fish, just need to find the bigger ones. This fish fell victim to the Do Live Crawler. 4.5 inch size. That hook is great too. Stuck him right in the corner of the mouth, right where it needs to be. Quick look, and let's let him drink. Kiss him, spank him, send him back. Yoo! Bye-bye. There we go. There we go. Finally got one of them to eat. Just had to throw it on the backside. I just tied on an American lure, which is kind of cheating for this video for today, but I wanted to get these fish to eat and they weren't eating what I was throwing, so I threw on a little good old-fashioned Biggun Recon, and that's all it took to get them to eat. I couldn't help myself. I didn't buy any crankbaits in Japan, so otherwise I probably would throw a crankbait that I got from Japan, but I don't have any. Regardless, nice little fish. See if we can get another. There's a bunch out there. They're just not eating what I'm throwing. Until I switched, I guess. Now they're eating what I'm throwing. There's one, just got bit. He dropped it, of course. They're being so finicky over here. Just nipping at it. He's got it. Got him. Oh, he dropped it. No! Such a small worm. You'd think they would just come up and crush it. Oh, I just got it again. Just got bit again. He's nipping at it. He's got it. Oh, he just ate it again. Right at my feet. What the heck, man? They're just being so finicky. Even with this tiny little worm, they're still just not crushing it. You'd think all I'd have to do is let them eat for 2 seconds and they got it down their gullet. It makes me wonder how the hell I even caught one on a 60-inch worm. My gosh. They're all over this rock pile. They're just kind of finicky right now. Let me give this a shot. The Imakatsu fish fry. The fish here are really being difficult, so I'm gonna go super finessey. But take a gander at this little minnow. This thing looks super lifelike. That thing's sick. I'm just gonna throw this on a little drop shot. The hook is a Hayabusa hook that I also got overseas. And the weight is, I believe, a Rains drop shot weight. So I'm gonna see if maybe this tricks them. It's been definitely a struggle. And I'm also challenging myself on top of that by throwing only lures that I got when I was away. So there's other baits I probably could throw that were made here in the US, but I am challenging myself, and believe me, it is a freaking challenge. Maybe this will be the answer though. Something small, subtle, and slow. What do they want? What do they want? Nothing I'm throwing, that's for sure. Oh, I definitely just spooked that fish. Oh, he just ate it. There we go, finally got one on the little minnow. I don't even think it's that big. I mean, it feels all right, but I think it's huge. Oh, it's a freaking pickerel. What? 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 All that work for a freaking pickerel? Oh, and he's gonna snap me off. He's just fraying up my line, my fresh leader. All that work for a freaking pickerel. You gotta be joking me. Oh my gosh, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. Oh, Maine state fish right there. No, I'm just kidding. It's not a pickerel, but it should be for how many are in this freaking state. Okay, he's off. How's my line? Mine's actually not too frayed. What the heck? All that work for a freaking pickerel. Not cool, bro, not cool. Oh my gosh, there's fish all over this. There we go, finally. Good one. On the little minnow. I don't know if it's a good one, but it's a fish. Oh, it's a nice one. It's a nice largemouth. It's a nice largemouth. Definitely the biggest one of the day. Had to go finesse on him. Had to go finesse on him. Ooh, it's a good largemouth. Look, he's screaming. I think it's a largemouth, or is it a smallie? I didn't really get a good look at him. Just had to go super finesse. Oh my gosh, this fish just turned on the freaking gas. I didn't think it was that big initially. Come here, buddy. Yes, something on the little tiny Japanese flicker bait, flicker shad. I think it's called the fish fry, imakatsu. Catching bass Japanese style. Oh yeah, it's a really solid Maine bass. For Maine, this would be a quality fish. This is one that you probably want to weigh in a tournament. Finally, a nice largemouth. We'll take it. Oh yeah, probably close to 3-pounder. Absolutely engulfed that imakatsu fish fry. Whew. Point in case, elephants eat peanuts. We've caught a lot of fish on a myriad of different baits, but the one lure that caught the biggest bass of the day just so happened to be on the tiniest little soft plastic. I knew it was gonna happen. It's just gonna take some time. Nice, close to 3-pounder. Let's get him back in the water. Let's go. Thank you for biting, old girl. I do appreciate it. Get back down there and tell your friends to keep eating. Success. Fish. Fish. Fish up shallow. Is that a good one? Nah, not really. It's a fish though. We'll take him. Largemouth. Thought we'd catch more small today on the drop shot, but largemouth are digging the drop of shot. Come here, bud. You're gonna mangle up my rig. Oh, looks like you've already succeeded in doing that. Okay, well, that's fantastic. Oh, a little stinky, a little stinky. We were going up in the world of size, but now we're going back down. It's okay though, a bite's a bite. In this boat, all bites are welcome, especially when it's on some cool stuff like this. The finesse drop shot. Later, dude. Eat it. Just ate it. That's a decent one. Finally got a decent one. Ooh, this one feels good. Oh yeah, that's a good fish. Finally got a big one to eat. I don't know how big this one is, but man, that was a serious run. Oh, it feels all right. Feels all right. Oh yeah, not a bad one. Nothing huge, but it's a good fish. Another one for the micro Japanese plastic. We'll take him. Healthy bass. Healthy bass. There we go. Nice. Well, this may be our last fish of the day, seeing as to how it looks like there's some rain rolling in. So I definitely don't want to get sogged up after a good day of fishing. Gonna hold this guy up, show you one last time, and send him back. Thank you, Busy. Whew, that felt good. Let's try the rip bait over here. Ooh, that's a good fish. That's a good fish. That's a decent one. Oh, that's a decent one. Oh yeah, that's a good fish. Oh yeah. Finally got one on the Japanese jerkbait, and it is a good one. I'm talking a good one, brother. This might be the fish of the day, I don't know. This might be the fish of the day. Looks like it's definitely over 3 pounds. Also, judging from the way it's fighting, it is going ham right now. That thing came up and slaughtered that rip bait. Whew. Come here, buddy. Come here, buddy. He came up and poo-pooed on it. Maybe this storm is getting him fired up, I don't know. Something had to, for gosh sakes. I have no idea how big this thing is. It could be really big or just a decent one. Oh, it's a decent one for sure. Yeah, it's a quality bass. Not sure if it's the biggest, but dude, that thing put up a hell of a fight. Whew, come here. Come here. Oh, come here, buddy. I got you. I got you. Oh, yeah. Solid largemouth. Not too bad for a Maine LM busy. Whoo-wee. That was sick. That was super sick. Stuck him good. Love to see that. Oh, he's got a mouthful of hooks. Decent largemouth. Definitely a 3-pounder. Just a beautiful largemouth. Let's freaking go. Whew. Time to send old girl back. Thank you for biting. Phew. This is what I just caught that fish on. This is a OSP 130. I actually bought this lure used at a shop called Tackleberry. And I've always wanted to fish one of these jerkbaits. They're really big. The reason why I think this jerkbait's perfect for this lake is a lot of what seems to be the bait in here is like big white perch. And big white perch are basically just like naked striped bass, or I guess naked white bass. They don't have any stripes. But I've been catching actually quite a few on accident, and they've all been pretty small, or at least about the size of this rip bait. And this rip bait has a similar color, just kind of a pale tone to it. So I think that's probably helping me get those bites. I haven't been throwing it much today, but that fish absolutely wanted it. And I imagine with these clouds and wind rolling in, it's gonna help the rip bait bite even more. I'm just casting out there, giving it a couple twitches, letting it pause, waiting for a fish to come up and just glue his mouth to those trebles. There's like 3 fish on that rock right there. I'm gonna throw a little bait in there. Throw the little tiny imakatsu, see if they want that. Do they want the imakatsu? Let's find out. There's like 2 more down there. They look hungry too. They keep falling in my jerkbait like they want to kill, like they really want to eat. Oh, yep. That was sick. Just made a little adjustment. Switch from the, that's another decent one. Switch from the jerkbait to the tiny little soft plastic, and I got another one of his buddies. Finally, bite's picking up. Just needed a storm to roll through. Ooh, another nice green bass. It's always fun catching green bass up north. They go so hard. They got a little smallmouth in them, I swear. Come here, bud. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, buddy's like, let me eat that. Let me eat that. Gotta eat that. Gotta eat that. Oh, another one for the micro fry. Imakatsu. Good stuff. Gonna send him right back. Later, Jimmy. That was dope. That was dope. Followed in the jerkbait, committed to the micro. I think he's got another friend down there too. Let's see if he'll bite. He hammered that thing like no questions asked. Down here the fish are happy under someone's lake. Ooh. Oh, that fish felt good. That felt like a really nice bass, actually. Damn it. There we go. That feels like a decent one. Oh yeah, that's a nice one. Big LMB. Big LMB. Big Maine LM busy. Running right at me. Oh yeah, that was dope. Spot lock. Oh, it's a good one. This might be our last fish of the day, boys. Might be the last one. Man, I've caught largemouth all over the world, but for whatever reason, northern green guys just throw down. They just throw down, brother. Come here. It's not a bad one. Like close to 3-pounder maybe. High 2s. Absolutely chomped the drop chat. Oh yeah. Yeah. Beautiful fish right in the corner of the mouth. These little hooks are sticky. Nice fish. All right, let's send them back. Later, bubba. See you, bye. Come on, get there, get there, get there, get there. No, I missed it. Golly. Come on, come loose, darling. Good workout. Damn, that look good. Oh, it's the wiener dog. It's the wiener dog. What's going on, girl? What's going on, Weens? What's going on, Weens? Boop, 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 boop. Oh, and there's Pee-Pee. Here comes Pee-Pee. Pee-Pee and Weens. Ah, Mickey Lobe Ultra.
Yes.
Wow, dude. What fraternity did you rush in? That was really cool.
Sorority, actually.
That was really cool. Back at Camp Claw, and I got something from my shorty. You know, most women like flowers or a nice bottle of wine, but I get my wife some Slim Jims. I told you you've been craving them.
Dr. Pepper Slim Jim.
Dr. Pepper.
A chili cheese, that's gonna be so gross.
Frito chili cheese.
This is gonna be good. A Flamin' Hot.
Flamin' Hot, yeah. I did.
Original XXL.
Yeah, I got you a regular one, and
a
then
nice little one.
the last one is
Tabasco.
yeah.
These are fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm just thinking of you. Mwah. Dude, you should try that with Hannah. Have you ever tried Jack Links?
No, honestly, they make me a little embarrassed.
Back at camp. But you guys could probably have guessed that because camp's right behind me. Today was a bit of a wiener grinder. That's okay, even though we're up here in Maine and the fish up here are oftentimes very bitey, very chewy, and honestly, quick to eat. Didn't seem like that was the case today. However, we did get a chance to break in some of the lures that I filmed on a previous video and actually tie them up, take them on the water, and catch some bass with them. For those of you who didn't watch the last video, that sucks. It's okay. I'm actually gonna go over some of the lures that we caught fish on today, some of the ones I threw. And like I said in the beginning of today's video, give you my thoughts, opinions, and honestly, input that doesn't even matter, but maybe you care. I'm not gonna go in any specific order, but first one is this Nori's NF60 frog. I didn't catch too many fish on this just because they really weren't looking up today, but this frog is absolutely goated. It's probably one of my favorite frogs next to a Biggun filthy frog. I've just been fishing this as a kid, so I love this toad. I've got a lot of hours on this frog, and I've caught a lot of big Illinois largemouth on this very bait. So this one today, even though it didn't catch me a ton of fish, I believe it's a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. It's a 9 out of 10 frog, no doubt. It's really good. Some of the lures that I did not throw today are stuff like this. I might throw this tomorrow for some pike, but this is a big Fish Arrow DRT glide bait, I think. I haven't had a chance to fish all these lures, so I really don't know what they're all capable of. For example, this clear bluegill looking lure, which is called a Kiwami gill, didn't really throw that. I mean, I was actually trying to catch fish today, so I really didn't want to go super advantageous with the lure selection. But I mean, just take a gander at some of these baits that we will throw in future videos, which, by the way, if you want to see me do another one of these videos and fish some of the lures that I didn't get a chance to tie on today, drop a comment and we'll make it happen. If this video does good and you enjoy it, why not keep going? I threw this little bullshit around, didn't catch any fish, but yeah, I've thrown the big version. The big version's not bad. The little version, I don't think I love per se. It's a tough bait to work. You really have to give it like small, like 1/8 handle turns or like 1/4 handle turns to get it to go side to side. It's a very finessey version of its bigger brother. I will say though, once it starts working and it starts gliding back and forth, it does look good in the water column. Didn't catch many fish today. I give it a 6.5 out of 10. It's a cool bait. It's a nice concept from the original OG bull shooter, but it's not my personal favorite. I was back here tying my worm in a knot right here. What kind of knot was that? Overhand clinch?
You want a tip real quick?
Yeah, what?
All right, well, most people don't know this, but and I guarantee you, John you fished with this, right?
Yeah, I caught with this.
Okay. Well, you would have caught a lot more if you used it how it's supposed to be worked. And you're supposed to ball it up like that and put it on a live bait hook And tell me that's not an earthworm on a live bait.
Oh, yeah. So you're going for the live bait look with artificial worm.
Yeah, you let it sit.
Oh, nice. But the problem is, look at that. It just came undone.
You gotta hook it.
Oh, I see, I see. Or you could be like me today and throw a 4-aught hook with a 16-inch worm. That brings me to the next point. This bait right here, I forget the name of this worm, but I'll drop it down below. I think it's a jackal. 16-inch worm. This actually caught me a fish today. Wasn't a very big fish, but it was a fun challenge to get them to eat this because I had to wait so long for that fish to bite it and actually work its way up to the hook point. There was a couple times where I'd set the hook and nothing would be there, or I just wouldn't have a worm. I actually love this lure. Originally I thought it'd be kind of gimmicky. It'd be like, yeah, one of those lures where you kind of throw on a, you know, if you're just, I don't know why you would throw this lure, but I really like the action. The action was really good. It did get a lot of bites today. I give this one an 8.5 out of 10. I think on the right gear, if we were to wacky worm this weightless style in the shallows, or if we were to have a bigger hook on here, a bigger finesse hook, I think I could have caught more fish, but I just didn't have the right terminal today. So yeah, 8.5 out of 10 for the big worm. Up next, we got these little Imakatsu fish fries. These things were goated. They caught most of my fish today, including some big ones. Not only does the presentation of this thing look incredible, it literally looks like an actual little silver side minnow. I believe it's supposed to imitate an ayu, which is a Japanese bait fish. But not only does this look so good in the water column, it's very durable. Take a look at this. This thing is insanely durable. So I really only used like 1 or 2 of these today on multiple bass. You know, they stayed on the hook and they wiggled and tickled the fish's face. The action looks good. It's not anything insane. It's just kind of a quick little quiver, which is the intended purpose of this bait. And it looked great on drop shot. I give this one a 9.5 out of 10. I'll be buying more of these and fishing more of these. These were awesome. By the way, I think most of the lures you guys see here are pretty easy to get. There might be a couple things in here that are very niche that you can only get in Japan, in the country, but most of this I would assume you can order online. Next lure. Raid chatter jig. I forgot the actual name of this bladed jig, but it's probably something like chatterbug, chatter pants, chatter nipples. I don't know, but it's a bladed jig, just like, you know, the stuff that Z-Man makes and all that. On the back here, I put a Raid Fanta stick, which I think is meant for like live scope fishing, but it looked pretty good on the back of the trailer. Pretty unimpressed with this. It's like a 1/2 ounce chartreuse and white, one of my favorite colors in a bladed jig. I thought it was just normal. It did have a cool hunting action, like a couple times it'd be in a straight line and kind of go off to the right, which you do want in some cases with a bladed jig. But I don't know, it didn't like really impress me. I think out of the fleet of other chatter jigs that I have in my box, it didn't really stand out. I give this one a 7. Not great, not terrible though. I'll definitely be fishing this with again. It's not my favorite though. Yerk bait. This right here is an OSP 130 SF. This one caught, I think, my biggest fish of the day. I really kind of struggled to get a bite on a jerkbait all day, but when I found the right spot that made sense for a jerkbait, boom, just like that, cracked one right off the get-go, and then I proceeded to crack his buddy. His homie fell victim to the little fish fry, so I went back-to-back catches. This is an interesting jerkbait. It's not like your traditional suspended jerkbaits. It's kind of a slow, long sweeping action opposed to like a 110 where it's like snap, 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 snap. This bait seems to really work good on the slow cracks. If you work it too fast, like a regular jerkbait, it will tangle itself up, it'll foul itself up, and it ultimately just doesn't look great in the water. I don't know, I gotta fish with this more. I think from the get-go, I'd give it like probably give it like an 8.5. It definitely looked really good in the water. It's just a different genre of jerkbait that I'm not used to fishing, and I gotta get better with that. But it's a cool bait. I'll definitely have this tied on next time I go out in the water. Solid yerk bait. And I believe the last lure that we caught fish on today was this little OSP wormy guy. This thing caught a couple bass, got a couple bites. I like it. I think it looks good on a drop shot. It looked good on actually just a finessey Texas rig. I was doing a free weight Texas rig with like a 3/0 hook, letting that thing sink down on some rocks, and it got some pretty good strikes. The color is awesome, the action's good. It feels soft, but it's pretty durable, which is kind of crazy. I don't know what kind of plastic this is. This is a unique plastic that I've never really seen in a soft bait before, but I really like it. A couple baits we used today were OSPs, and this was a solid bait, and definitely could see myself using it again. I give it a 7.5. Again, I liked it, but didn't love it. Well, wieners, that concludes today's fishing mission. I hope you enjoyed. I haven't filmed a video like this in quite some time, trying to get back to my roots, going back to the stuff that you guys seem to have enjoyed watching in years past, and maybe the reason why you subscribe to this channel. But I'm gonna end on that note. Little end of the day Japanese lure review. Like I said, drop a comment if you wanna see part 2 of this video. I'll make it happen, I'll film it, and we'll catch fish, hopefully on some of the even crazier stuff that I have in my tackle box. I'm peacing out, signing out. Thank you for watching, and as always, folks, keep fishing, never stop.